Question 1. Coverage valuation. Which of the following statements best describes the difference between replacement cost and actual cash value in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Replacement cost covers the cost to repair or replace damaged property with new materials, while actual cash value deducts depreciation from the replacement cost. B. Replacement cost deducts depreciation from the actual cash value, which is the amount needed to repair or replace the property. C. Actual cash value includes the cost of new materials without depreciation, whereas replacement cost only covers the repair cost without additional expenses. D. Replacement cost and actual cash value are the same and both include depreciation adjustments for the damaged property. Answer A. Explanation. Replacement cost covers the cost to repair or replace the damaged property with new materials of similar kind and quality without deducting for depreciation. Actual cash value, on the other hand, deducts depreciation from the replacement cost to determine the value of the property. This means that actual cash value accounts for the decrease in value due to age and wear and tear, while replacement cost does not. Question 2. Policy exclusions. Which of the following perils is typically excluded under a standard HO3 homeowners insurance policy? A. Theft of personal property. B. Fire damage to the dwelling. C. Earthquake damage. D. Liability for bodily injury on the insured property. Answer C. Explanation. Standard HO3 policies cover all perils except those specifically excluded. Earthquake damage is typically excluded under a standard HO3 policy, and policyholders would need to purchase separate earthquake coverage if they want protection against such events. Theft, fire damage, and liability for bodily injury are usually covered under an HO3 policy. Question 3. Scenario-based question. Mr. Thompson has a standard HO3 homeowners policy and recently experienced a significant fire in his home, resulting in extensive damage to his kitchen. He also had to move out of his home for repairs, incurring additional living expenses. What should Mr. Thompson expect regarding his coverage for the damage to his kitchen and the additional living expenses? A. Mr. Thompson will receive coverage for the full cost of repairs to his kitchen and an additional payment for the living expenses incurred during the repair period, subject to the policy's limits and deductibles. B. Mr. Thompson will receive coverage only for the cost of repairing his kitchen but will not be covered for any additional living expenses incurred during the repair period. C. Mr. Thompson will only receive coverage for the damage to his kitchen if the repairs are made with new materials and no additional living expenses will be covered. D. Mr. Thompson will receive coverage for additional living expenses but will need to pay out of pocket for the repair of his kitchen, which is not covered by the policy. Answer A. Explanation. Under a standard HO3 homeowners policy, Mr. Thompson should receive coverage for the repair of his kitchen based on replacement cost, and he should also be covered for additional living expenses, coverage D, incurred while his home is being repaired. This coverage includes fair rental value or additional expenses for accommodations and living costs during the repair period, subject to the policy's limits and deductibles. Question 4. Endorsements. Which of the following endorsements is typically used to cover high-value items such as jewelry or art in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Water backup coverage. B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. C. Ordinance or law coverage. D. Identity theft protection. Answer B. Explanation. The scheduled personal property endorsement, also known as a personal property floater, is used to provide additional coverage for high-value items like jewelry, art, or collectibles. This endorsement allows policyholders to specify and insure these items for their full value, often with fewer limitations and exclusions than the standard policy coverage. Water backup coverage and identity theft protection are unrelated to high-value items, and ordinance or law coverage pertains to compliance with building codes rather than personal property. Question 5. Claim settlement. If a homeowner's policy provides for replacement cost coverage, how is depreciation factored into the settlement for a damaged property? A. Depreciation is subtracted from the replacement cost before the settlement is issued. B. Depreciation is not considered as the settlement is based on the full replacement cost without deductions. C. Depreciation is added to the replacement cost to determine the settlement amount. D. Depreciation is covered separately under an additional policy endorsement. Answer B. Explanation. Under replacement cost coverage, the settlement amount is based on the full replacement cost of repairing or replacing the damaged property without deducting for depreciation. This means that the policy will pay the cost to replace the damaged property with new materials of similar kind and quality, providing a higher level of coverage than actual cash value, which does account for depreciation. Question 6. Liability coverage. What does personal liability coverage under standard homeowners policy typically include? A. Coverage for damages to a neighbor's property caused by the homeowner's pets. B. Legal defense costs for the homeowner if they are sued for damage to their own property. C. Coverage for the homeowner's medical expenses if they are injured on their own property. D. Coverage for damages resulting from a business operated out of the insured home. Answer A. Explanation. Personal liability coverage under standard homeowners policy provides protection for damages that the policyholder is legally responsible for due to bodily injury or property damage caused to others. This includes scenarios such as damages to a neighbor's property caused by the homeowner's pets. Legal defense costs are typically covered under this liability provision, but medical expenses for the homeowner or damages related to a home-based business are not included. Question 7. Coverage gaps. Which of the following situations is most likely to result in a gap in coverage under standard homeowners policy? A. Damage caused by a windstorm. B. Damage from a flood. C. Theft of personal property. D. Vandalism to the exterior of the home. Answer B. Explanation. A standard homeowners policy typically excludes coverage for flood damage. This means that homeowners in flood-prone areas need to purchase separate flood insurance to protect against such risks. Windstorm damage, theft, and vandalism are usually covered under a standard policy provided there are no specific exclusions or conditions. Question 8. Risk assessment in underwriting a homeowners policy. Which of the following factors is most likely to affect the premium rate? A. The color of the house. B. The age and condition of the roof. C. The number of bathrooms in the home. D. The type of flooring used in the home. Answer B. Explanation. The age and condition of the roof are significant factors in determining the premium rate for a homeowner's insurance policy. A roof that is older or in poor condition may increase the risk of damage and consequently lead to higher premiums. The color of the house, the number of bathrooms, and the type of flooring generally do not impact the premium rate significantly. Question 9. State regulations. Which of the following is a requirement for homeowners insurance policies under the Louisiana Insurance Code? A. Policies must cover all types of natural disasters without exception. B. Policies must include coverage for both flood and earthquake damage. C. Insurance providers must offer clear disclosures of policy terms and conditions. D. Insurance providers are prohibited from denying claims based on policy exclusions. Answer C. Explanation. Under the Louisiana Insurance Code, insurance providers are required to offer clear and comprehensive disclosures of policy terms and conditions to ensure that policyholders understand their coverage. While flood and earthquake coverage are not typically included in standard policies and must be purchased separately, providers must be transparent about what is and isn't covered. Denying claims based on policy exclusions is not prohibited, but exclusions must be clearly communicated. Question 10. Special coverage. A homeowner wants to ensure that their policy covers damage to their personal property caused by an accidental discharge of water from a washing machine. Which endorsement should they consider? A. Water backup coverage. B. Equipment breakdown coverage. C. Personal property replacement cost endorsement. D. Ordinance or law coverage. Answer B. Explanation. Equipment breakdown coverage is designed to cover damages resulting from the failure of appliances and machinery, including an accidental discharge of water from a washing machine. Water backup coverage specifically covers damage from sewer or drain backups, not appliance failures. The personal property replacement cost endorsement addresses the value of personal property but not the cause of damage, while ordinance or law coverage pertains to compliance with building codes. Question 11. Coverage limits. What is the primary purpose of the special limits of liability clause in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. To set a maximum amount payable for specific types of personal property losses. B. To limit the total payout for all claims under the policy. C. To restrict coverage only to specific types of perils, such as fire or theft. D. To cap the number of claims that can be filed within a policy period. Answer A. Explanation. The special limits of liability clause sets maximum amounts payable for specific categories of personal property losses, such as jewelry, electronics, or firearms. This clause ensures that while personal property is covered, there are limits to the coverage for high-value items. This clause does not cap the total payout for all claims or restrict coverage to specific perils. Question 12. Ordinance or law coverage. Which situation would most likely require an ordinance or law coverage endorsement in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Damage caused by an accidental fire. B. Damage resulting from a covered peril that exceeds policy limits. C. Additional costs required to bring a property up to current building codes after a loss. D. Loss of personal property due to theft. Answer. C. Explanation. Ordinance or law coverage provides protection for additional costs required to bring a property up to current building codes or ordinances after a covered loss. This endorsement is necessary when rebuilding or repairing property requires compliance with new regulations which are not covered under a standard policy. Question 13. Personal liability coverage. If a visitor is injured on a homeowner's property and the homeowner is found legally liable, which of the following would personal liability coverage typically cover? A. The homeowner's medical bills related to the injury. B. The visitor's legal fees and medical expenses related to the injury. C. The cost of repairing the homeowner's damaged property. D. The cost of replacing stolen personal property. Answer. B. Explanation. Personal liability coverage provides protection for legal liabilities arising from bodily injury or property damage to others. This includes covering the visitor's legal fees and medical expenses related to their injury. It does not cover the homeowner's own medical bills, property repairs, or stolen personal property. Question 14. Dwelling coverage. Under a standard homeowner's policy, what does coverage with dwelling typically include? A. Damage to the insured's personal property, such as furniture and clothing. B. Damage to the structures on the property that are not attached to the home. C. Damage to the dwelling itself and attached structures. D. Loss of use coverage for additional living expenses. Answer. C. Explanation. Coverage of dwelling covers damage to the dwelling itself and any attached structures, such as a garage or deck. It does not include personal property, which is covered under coverage C. Other structures on the property, covered under coverage B, or loss of use, covered under coverage D. Question 15. Risk classification. Which of the following factors is least likely to affect the underwriting and risk classification of a homeowner's insurance policy? A. The age of the home's electrical system. B. The homeowner's credit score. C. The type of landscaping around the home. D. The home's proximity to a fire station. Answer. C. Explanation. While the age of the home's electrical system, the homeowner's credit score, and the home's proximity to a fire station all influence underwriting and risk classification, the type of landscaping around the home typically does not affect these factors. Underwriters focus on elements that impact the risk of loss or claim frequency. Question 16. Insurance fraud. What constitutes insurance fraud in the context of homeowners insurance? A. Reporting a legitimate claim but failing to provide all requested documentation. B. Deliberately providing false information or exaggerating claims to receive more benefits. C. Failing to update personal information with the insurance provider. D. Misunderstanding the coverage details of the insurance policy. Answer. B. Explanation. Insurance fraud involves deliberately providing false information or exaggerating claims to obtain more benefits than the policy provides. This includes falsifying damage or losses, reporting a legitimate claim with incomplete documentation, failing to update personal information, or misunderstanding coverage details are not considered fraud but may lead to complications in the claims process. Question 17. Additional living expenses. Which scenario is typically covered under the additional living expenses or provision in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Cost of a new roof after a hailstorm. B. Rent for a temporary residence while the insured home is being repaired. C. Medical bills for a visitor injured on the insured property. D. Replacement of personal property damaged by a covered peril. Answer. B. Explanation. Additional living expenses. L. Coverage pays for additional costs incurred when the insured home is uninhabitable due to a covered loss. This typically includes rent for a temporary residence and other expenses related to living away from home while repairs are being made. It does not cover repair costs, medical bills, or replacement of damaged personal property. Question 18. Special exclusions. Which of the following perils is commonly excluded from a standard homeowner's insurance policy necessitating separate coverage? A. Vandalism. B. Accidental water damage. C. Earthquake damage. D. Fire damage. Answer. C. Explanation. Earthquake damage is commonly excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies and requires separate coverage through an earthquake endorsement or policy. Vandalism, accidental water damage, and fire damage are generally covered under a standard homeowners policy, though specific exclusions or conditions may apply. Question 19. Coverage for home-based businesses. How does a standard homeowners insurance policy typically address coverage for home-based businesses? A. Provides full coverage for all business-related property and liability. B. Offers limited coverage with significant exclusions for business property and liability. C. Excludes all business-related property and liability from coverage. D. Covers business property but not business liability. Answer: B. Explanation: a standard homeowners insurance policy typically offers limited coverage for home-based businesses, with significant exclusions for business property and liability. For comprehensive coverage, business owners usually need a separate business insurance policy or an endorsement to address business property and liability needs. Question 20. Coverage for secondary residences. Which type of homeowners policy typically provides the most comprehensive coverage for secondary residences? A. HO1 basic form. B. HO2 broad form. C. HO3 special form. D. HO8 modified coverage form. Answer: C. Explanation: the HO3 special form provides comprehensive coverage for secondary residences similar to primary residences. It covers all perils except those specifically excluded in the policy. The HO1 and HO2 forms offer more limited coverage, and the HO8 form is designed for older homes with modified coverage. Question 21. Insurable interest. What is the primary reason for requiring insurable interest in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. To ensure the insurance policy provides coverage for the insured's property and financial interest. B. To limit the amount of coverage an insured can purchase for their property. C. To reduce the insurance premiums based on the value of the property. D. To guarantee that claims will be processed faster. Answer: A. Explanation: insurable interest is required to ensure that the policyholder has a financial interest in the property being insured. This means the insured stands to lose financially if the property is damaged or destroyed. It is a fundamental principle to prevent speculative insurance and ensures that the insurance serves to protect the insured's genuine financial loss. Question 22. Special limits of liability. Which of the following is most likely to have a special limit of liability under a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Personal electronics like computers and tablets. B. Household appliances like refrigerators and stoves. C. Landscaping features such as trees and shrubs. D. Dwelling structures like attached garages. Answer: A. Explanation: personal electronics such as computers and tablets often have a special limit of liability under a homeowner's insurance policy. This clause sets a maximum payout amount for specific types of personal property, such as electronics, jewelry, or collectibles, to control potential losses from high-value items. Household appliances, landscaping features, and dwelling structures typically fall under broader coverage provisions. Question 23. Policy exclusions. Which of the following is typically excluded from coverage under a standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Damage caused by a hurricane. B. Damage caused by termites. C. Theft of personal property. D. Fire damage to the dwelling. Answer: B. Explanation: damage caused by termites is typically excluded from coverage under a standard homeowners insurance policy. Standard policies usually exclude coverage for pest infestations, wear and tear, and maintenance issues. Damage from hurricanes, theft, and fire are generally covered, though specific exclusions or limits may apply. Question 24. Risk assessment. Which factor is least likely to be considered in the risk assessment process for homeowners insurance? A. The age and condition of the heating system. B. The homeowner's prior insurance claims history. C. The homeowner's personal hobbies and interests. D. The location of the home in relation to emergency services. Answer: C. Explanation: the homeowner's personal hobbies and interests are typically not considered in the risk assessment process for homeowners insurance. Underwriters focus on factors that directly impact the risk of loss, such as the age and condition of the heating system, prior claims history, and proximity to emergency services. Question 25. Homeowners insurance policy types. Which homeowners insurance policy form provides the broadest coverage for personal property? A. HO1 basic form. B. HO2 broad form. C. HO3 special form. D. HO5 comprehensive form. Answer D. Explanation. The HO5 comprehensive form provides the broadest coverage for personal property among standard homeowners insurance policies. It covers all perils except those specifically excluded, offering the most extensive protection for personal belongings. The HO1 and HO2 forms offer more limited coverage, while the HO3 provides broad coverage but may not be as comprehensive as the HO5. Question 26. Actual cash value versus replacement cost. Which of the following best describes the difference between actual cash value (ACV) and replacement cost in a homeowner's policy? A. ACV considers depreciation while replacement cost does not. B. Replacement cost includes depreciation while ACV does not. C. ACV covers only the cost of repairs while replacement cost covers the cost of replacement. D. Replacement cost is calculated based on market value while ACV is. Answer A. Explanation. Actual cash value (ACV) considers depreciation in calculating the payout amount, meaning it reflects the value of the property at the time of loss minus depreciation. Replacement cost, on the other hand, does not account for depreciation and provides the amount needed to replace the damaged property with a new equivalent. Question 27. Coverage for secondary residences. For a secondary residence, which type of homeowners insurance policy typically offers the least coverage? A. HO1 basic form. B. HO2 broad form. C. HO3 special form. D. HO5 comprehensive form. Answer A. Explanation. The HO1 basic form typically offers the least coverage for secondary residences, as it provides only named peril coverage and is more limited in scope compared to other forms. The HO2, HO3, and HO5 forms provide broader coverage, with HO5 offering the most comprehensive protection. Question 20. Coverage exclusions. Which of the following perils is usually covered by an endorsement or separate policy rather than a standard homeowner's policy? A. Damage from a fire. B. Damage from a burglary. C. Damage from a flood. D. Damage from a windstorm. Answer C. Explanation. Damage from a flood is usually excluded from standard homeowners policies and requires separate flood insurance or an endorsement to provide coverage. Fire, burglary, and windstorm damage are typically covered under standard policies, though specific exclusions or limitations may apply. Question 29. Claims investigation. What is the primary purpose of the claims investigation process in a homeowner's insurance claim? A. To determine if the claim meets the policy's coverage requirements. B. To assess the value of the insured property before a loss occurs. C. To calculate the policyholder's premium based on their claims history. D. To verify the policyholder's eligibility for purchasing additional coverage. Answer A. Explanation. The primary purpose of the claims investigation process is to determine if the claim meets the policy's coverage requirements. This involves verifying the details of the loss, assessing the damage, and ensuring that the claim is covered under the policy terms. It does not involve assessing property value before a loss or calculating premiums. Question 30. Legal and ethical considerations. What is considered an ethical practice when handling an insurance claim? A. Providing a full and honest account of the loss to the insurance company. B. Exaggerating the extent of damage to increase the claim amount. C. Withholding information that might negatively impact the claim outcome. D. Accepting a lower settlement offer to expedite the claims process. Answer A. Explanation. An ethical practice in handling an insurance claim involves providing a full and honest account of the loss to the insurance company. This ensures transparency and integrity in the claims process. Exaggerating damage, withholding information, or accepting a lower settlement offer to expedite the process are unethical practices that can lead to legal consequences and policy disputes.